May 29th, 1453. Constantinople falls. The 1,000-year reign of Rome in the East should have ended. But empires don't die when their capitals burn. Sometimes they simply refuse to disappear. This is the story of the Byzantine Empire, the civilization historians forgot to bury. For over a millennium, it withstood invasions that would have shattered any other nation. Barbarian hordes, Persian armies, Arab conquests, Crusader betrayals, and yet it persisted. But here's what they don't teach you. Byzantium didn't just survive, it created the blueprint for modern civilization, while the rest of Europe descended into darkness. 330 AD. Emperor Constantine makes a decision that will echo through time. He abandons Rome, the eternal city, for a Greek fishing town on the edge of Europe, Byzantium. He renames it Constantinople, New Rome. Why? Because Rome was dying. Corruption, civil war, barbarian pressure. Constantine saw the future, and it wasn't in Italy. The East held the wealth, the trade routes, the strategic position between Europe and Asia. When the Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476 AD, the scholars, the engineers, the lawyers, they fled east. Byzantium became the Ark. While Western Europe burned its books, Byzantium copied them. Greek philosophy, Roman law, Christian theology, everything worth saving. And for the next 1,000 years, this empire would do the impossible, survive. 537 AD. Emperor Justinian completes the Hagia Sophia. For nearly 1,000 years, it will be the largest cathedral on earth. The dome, impossible by every engineering standard of the time, floats 180 feet above the floor. Contemporary witnesses said it seemed suspended from heaven by a golden chain. But architecture wasn't their only genius. The Byzantines invented Greek fire, a liquid flame that burned on water, a secret weapon so terrifying and so protected that its formula died with the empire. Naval historians believe it was an early form of napalm, possibly using petroleum, quicklime, and sulfur. In 678 AD, Arab fleets besieged Constantinople. They outnumbered the Byzantine navy 5-1. Then came the fire. Entire ships erupted. The sea itself seemed to burn. The siege broke. The caliphate retreated. Had Constantinople fallen that day, Europe would have become Muslim territory. The Renaissance, everything we call Western civilization, might never have happened. The Theodosian walls, built in 413 AD, triple-layered fortifications stretching 4 miles, moats, towers, kill zones. For over 1,000 years, these walls protected Constantinople from 23 major sieges. But walls don't save empires, people do. And Byzantium had a secret weapon: bureaucracy. While medieval Europe operated on feudal loyalty and personal oaths, Byzantium ran on institutions, a professional civil service, standardized taxation, a standing army, intelligence networks that spanned 3 continents. They were Rome 2.0, upgraded, fortified, systematized. Their intelligence service, the Logothete of the Drome, was arguably the world's first organized spy network. They bought enemies, spread disinformation, and turned would-be invaders against each other. Diplomacy backed by espionage. It was cheaper than war and more effective. April 12th, 1204. Good Friday. The Fourth Crusade reaches Constantinople, but they're not here to fight Muslims. They're here to sack the greatest Christian city on earth. The Venetians promised to transport Crusaders to Egypt. Instead, they diverted to Constantinople, demanding payment the Byzantines couldn't afford. What followed was 3 days of slaughter. Churches looted, libraries burned, the bronze horses of the hippodrome stolen, shipped to Venice, where they still stand today. Historians estimate the Crusaders destroyed more classical art and literature in those 3 days than all the barbarian invasions combined. The historian Nicetas Choniates wrote, "Even the Saracens are merciful and kind compared to these men who bear the cross." The empire fractured. For 57 years, Constantinople was ruled by Latin kings, but even in exile, the Byzantines planned their return. July 25, 1261, Michael VIII Palaiologos reclaims Constantinople. No grand battle. His general finds a secret entrance, a forgotten gate left unguarded. They slip inside before dawn, and by sunrise, the Latin Empire is over. But the empire that returned was hollow, the treasury emptied, the population decimated, the territories lost. What came back wasn't the phoenix, it was the ghost. And yet they endured. For another 2 centuries, Byzantium survived on cunning, tradition, and one unshakable belief that they were Rome, and Rome was eternal. May 28, 1453. Constantine XI Palaiologos stands on the Theodosian walls. Behind him, 7,000 defenders. Before him, 80,000 Ottoman troops, and the largest cannons ever built. Sultan Mehmed II, just 21 years old, brought a Hungarian engineer named Orban who built a monster, a cannon 27 feet long, firing 1,200-pound stone balls. It took 60 oxen to move. Each shot cracked the walls and shook the earth. For 53 days, the walls held. Then, on the final night, someone left a small gate, the Kerkoporta, unlocked. 50 Ottoman soldiers slipped through. When Constantine saw Ottoman banners rising inside the city, he knew the end had come. According to legend, he tore off his imperial regalia, drew his sword, and charged into the breach. His body was never found. The last Roman emperor died fighting alongside his men. Not in a palace, not in exile, on the walls. May 28, 1453. Constantine XI Palaiologos stands on the Theodosian walls. Behind him, 7,000 defenders. Before him, 80,000 Ottoman troops, and the largest cannons ever built. Sultan Mehmed II, just 21 years old, brought a Hungarian engineer named Orban who built a monster, a cannon 27 feet long, firing 1,200-pound stone balls. It took 60 oxen to move. Each shot cracked the walls and shook the earth. For 53 days, the walls held. Then, on the final night, someone left a small gate, the Kerkoporta, unlocked. 50 Ottoman soldiers slipped through. When Constantine saw Ottoman banners rising inside the city, he knew the end had come. According to legend, he tore off his imperial regalia, drew his sword, and charged into the breach. His body was never found. The last Roman emperor died fighting alongside his men. Not in a palace, not in exile, on the walls. But here's what haunts historians. Where is the Byzantine treasury? When Constantine XI died, the imperial vaults held centuries of accumulated wealth, gold, jewels, relics. The crown of thorns alone was priceless. None of it was found in Ottoman records. Some believe it was smuggled out weeks before the fall, hidden in monasteries across Greece and the Balkans. Others think it lies beneath Constantinople's cisterns, sealed in chambers the Ottomans never found. In 2022, archaeologists discovered a previously unknown underground complex near the Hippodrome. What's inside? They're still digging. Every year, Istanbul reveals more secrets, new tunnels, lost chapels, forgotten libraries. The empire fell, but it's still speaking. Empires are measured by their conquests. But Byzantium's true power wasn't in what it conquered, it was in what it preserved. For 11 centuries, while empires rose and collapsed around it, Byzantium held the line. It saved the books, it kept the flame. When you read philosophy, you're reading texts Byzantium saved. When you study law, you're learning principles Byzantium codified. When you stand in a domed building, you're standing in Byzantium's shadow. The Roman Empire fell twice, once in the west in 476, once in the east in 1453. But the idea, the belief that civilization can endure, that knowledge must be protected, that walls can be rebuilt and empires can rise again, that never died. This was Byzantium, the empire that refused to fall. And in every library, every courthouse, every church dome that reaches toward heaven, it never did. And so the empire that refused to fall continues to echo through the pages of history. Despite the odds, it proved that nothing is truly invincible, except the will to survive. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. I hope you found this history as fascinating as I did. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the past, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Your support means the world.